What's going on, everyone? It's the Great White Stoke from the Great West Coast, coming at you with a video response to Sauvagé. Now, Sauvagé, I want to open this up with my response here is couched in sincerity, peace, unity, and respect. But I found your rebuttal to be very dismissive, ham-fisted, and very boomery with regards to what's happening to the kids today. Now, maybe your wealth has insulated you in a way that you no longer interface with 20-somethings. And I think that's great that your wealth has been able to allow you to travel all around. But let's get down to some real nitty-gritty. You grew up in a time pre-9/11. You grew up in a time where you didn't see schools closed down and businesses shut down, with the never-ending media cycle telling you if you don't get the shot and wear a mask, you're gonna fucking die. Now, you go on to state with regards to this 30 years of desert wars that none of these kids are getting drafted. Nobody's forcing them to go. But when you start getting down to the brass tacks of everything, and that this system has shipped good jobs overseas, these young kids are being approached by recruiters throughout their entire high school career. Mind you that these kids, their executive function really doesn't come online until their 20s. You've pretty much forced their hand. Not only that, you've got a group of young kids who are being told every day by these weirdo public school teachers that you're not going to amount to anything without a college degree. And so these kids take the bait and go and sign up for these loans thinking that they're doing the right thing. It reminds me of a guy I know. He went to college. Well, let me retract that. He went and enlisted in the Navy for 6 years. He got out, he got his college degree, and what does he do? He works as an armed security guard. And the lamentation that I would hear regularly was, I served my country, I went to college, and all I'm looking for is a chance. And the chance never came. So he's working some armed security job in LA and where at, you might ask? Some synagogue temple. Let's move on. You grew up in a world pre-9/11 where you don't have to watch grandmas in wheelchairs get shook down at airports, being treated like they are Mohammed Atta's financier and bosom buddy helping plan the 9/11 terrorist attacks. You made it through your teens and 20s and 30s without having to see schools shut down, businesses shut down, and a 24/7 news cycle telling you better take the vaccine and wear the mask or you're going to die. And anybody that doesn't comply, they need to be taken out. The young kids today have been through stuff you have never had to experience. And when you did, you had a brain that was fully developed. You know, we're talking about kids who are inundated with this corporate, monopolized, curated social programming, and their brains haven't even fully developed yet. And the whole, America's the best place, that just comes off so boomery. We're not debating Chevy versus Ford. We're talking about a country who has thrown its people overboard. Let me make a small analogy, right? And it's not going to fit, but it's something that I can come up with this early in the morning. Imagine a little league team, right? Everyone's played little league of some kind, be it baseball, football, or soccer. And what normally happens is that, the parents bring in their kids, they sign the form, they pay the fee, they get the uniform. And what happens, and we're going to couch this all in like baseball, right? The coaches lose sight of what the real game is, and that is that everybody gets a turn, right? Everyone came in, signed the waiver, paid the fee, has the uniform, right? But always there's going to be the star players, and there's going to be the people, that just aren't naturally inclined to the sport, but they've paid their dues. And what happens is that the parent says, hey, coach, when is my little Joey going to get some batting time, right? The coach says, well, we're trying to win, so we're going to put little Timmy out there because he can really hit the ball and catch the ball. Your little Joey, he's kind of fat and uncoordinated, and we're trying to win, right? And then what happens when that coach just starts bringing in foreign kids? Those kids haven't signed the waiver. They haven't paid the fees. They're just given the uniform and then put on the field, right? This is essentially what's happened to America. So I think that maybe you're being very insensitive to these groups of young kids that have been thrown to the wolves. Now, we are in a system where everyone's got to get out there and earn tokens to buy food. And not everybody has the intellect to be a rocket scientist. Not everybody has the mental fortitude, if you will, to contend with the psychos and the sociopaths that have been put into the positions that they are in the corporate world. And when you say like, whoa, these kids, if they want to buy a house, they can move to a different area where the housing's cheaper. Bro, stop acting like you're talking to someone who hasn't traveled through flyover country. I've been to these states where it's cheaper. And you know what I found in those states? Veritable food deserts. Places where the employer is at large is Walmart and gas jobs. And yes, housing is cheaper over there, but people over there are sad as fuck and there's nothing going on. I've been to North Dakota where it's small little hamlet, highway, small little hamlet, and the only grocery store is a Dollar General. So those people can't even get good, nutritious food. And the thought of raw milk is considered taboo and illegal. I think maybe compassion is what is needed for American kids that are having to navigate a system that has thrown them fucking overboard. You never had to contend with DEI policies growing up. You never had to contend with critical race theory. You never had to contend with having to compete with the people that these young kids are having to compete with, bro. I await your response. And be careful around them rattlesnakes, bro. They'll take your leg off, all right? That rattlesnake in that last video, that poor boy or woman, I'm not too familiar with how to differentiate the sexes on a rattlesnake. Wrong place, wrong time. And I got people in my wallet I had to consider, and I wasn't about to start to try and learn how to wrangle a rattlesnake into a pillowcase of some kind. So I brought out the old 410 shotgun, took its head clean off, kept the rattle, gave the carcass to the vultures. I'm hoping to make some cool little like choker necklace out of the rattlesnake. Anyway, hope everyone is well. Backwoods, you Big Norski. I'm going to be doing a video for you. Be well, people.